This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 30 for the week of August 6th, 2018. I am one of your hosts, Trey Higgins, and I am joined by Chris Rodriguez.
Hello.
And it's no Justin this week. Justin has left us for temporarily because he went to RTX, and I'm actually bummed he's not here because I was going to ask him about RTX, but I did see him on I saw him on Tuesday. He came to the draft house to see a movie, so I asked him a little bit then, but seemed like we made the good decision to skip this year.
Oh, he can make time to go watch a movie, but he can't take the 2 hours it takes to come record a podcast.
I know. Well, you know,
priorities, Justin.
We might be opening auditions soon for a new third co-host. Please apply via Google Doc.
To what? We have a Gmail account. That's right.
Yeah. Just send a random Google Doc with your name on it. That's it. Just your name.
We'll judge you based on your name.
Obviously, we don't have a very strict application process here at Twin Stick Radio.
It's very true.
You might hear the sultry tones of Everett Jordan occasionally pipe in on the podcast. I just want to put that out there so people could identify the voice instead of hearing.
No, I'm not here.
I'm not here. It's a mystery. Chris, how'd your week go? Any fun stories?
We were at McDonald's yesterday.
Okay.
I had rehearsal about 6:30ish, so we were kind of rushing. I was like, crap, I need to eat something. So we just grabbed some chicken nuggets at McDonald's. Anyway, we go to McDonald's. We're sitting inside the one that plays the 50s music by Casa Garcia, right? So we're sitting there. We're enjoying a nice McDonald's meal. I don't know how nice that is. But
like
then
a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, actually the burgers have gotten exceptionally better ever since.
The quarter pounder is awesome.
They switched to their whatever non-fake meat or sort of like halfway between fake meat, whatever that is.
100% real Angus beef.
Sure, but Angus is like spelled with a Y instead of a U or something. It's like, anyway, so we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden the employees start like messing with the soda fountain. And they put it under Sprite, and it comes out like black. Whitney's like, "What's going on over there?" So we're kind of like paying attention to them, and they're like, it's like coming out black, and they're pouring it out and trying it over and over again. And then the tropical Sprite is doing the same thing. So they start testing all the other ones, and the other ones come out normal. So then the manager starts doing this. And tests everyone. It's like, I don't know, you should be testing all those, dude, if the Sprite's coming out black. What the fuck?
To me, it sounds like some idiot hooked up the wrong bib to the machine. Like,
whatever that means.
It like, so was it black, like, this could be Coke black, or was it black?
No, it was like it looked dirty. It looked dirty more than anything. It didn't really look like a soda. It just looked like dirty water.
Interesting.
And so they were testing it, and they found out all the Sprite was gone, and a couple of the things were messed up. Everything else was fine. Except I have this weird, what's it called? When you think you're dying, but you're not.
Hypochondria.
I'm somewhat of a hypochondriac, so I went over to the Coke and refilled my Coke, right? And started drinking it on the way home, and I was like, this tastes funny. So I ended up pouring it out. There's probably nothing wrong with it, but it was there. And as we were leaving, I tweeted this out because this is the epitome of New Braunfels, Texas. As we were leaving, this middle-aged white woman comes in, and she goes, "Excuse me, do you have any of that Polynesian sauce?" And I stopped and I was like, "What?" And the little girl behind the counter goes, "We have sweet and sour." And she goes, "That's the one."
Wait.
What?
I could get saying like Chinese sauce.
Sure. Hey, do you have any of that Chinese or
right?
like Japanese?
You go to Panda Express and you can get sweet and sour sauce.
Or even if like she went like super like maybe kind of racist on that side and goes Oriental sauce, like I could get it. But you asked for Polynesian sauce, and I took like everything in me. Whitney even like looked at me and goes, "No." Took everything in me to not turn around and go, "Ma'am, can you even tell me where the Polynesian islands are in the world?"
Fucking crazy.
Anyway,
that's so crazy to me.
For those of you who don't know, it's near Hawaii.
Also, like, let's be real.
She asked for sweet and sour sauce, but referred to it as Polynesian sauce. So that tells me, in her mind, everything
is Polynesian.
everything west side of California is Asian or Oriental type food.
Dude,
it's like, come on, lady, Jesus Christ.
The thing that I find really funny about that, though, is that, like, even if you don't know the rest of McDonald's sauces, if you've ever eaten at McDonald's, you know 2 sauces.
Sure.
Barbecue and sweet and sour.
Sure.
Like, there is a special, like, fucking connection in your brain that has to be broken to not remember the name of sweet and sour sauce.
But even then, to go as far as call it Polynesian sauce, which is, I mean, sure, maybe at some point in time, those cultures coexisted or were part of the same, race or whatever. But in this day and age, it's like, it's closer to Samoan. Samoan and Polynesian are closer than freaking Polynesian and Chinese. Good God, lady. Anyway, that's the epitome of freaking New Braunfels. It is Trump's America.
You're not
is
wrong.
What that is.
If you guys haven't listened to us before, we are a podcast about video games. We record weekly, and we are usually up by Fridays. You can listen to the show on all your favorite podcast platforms and YouTube if you really want to. We start this show with the same segment every week. Chris, what are you playing?
Oh my God, I'm talking again. You know what? Everett, what are you playing?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't really played anything.
Oh, that sucks.
I did like 1 day of Destiny, and that's it. Yeah, been busy.
Like sort of like wet fart. It's not quite the fart noise yet, but it's like a wet fart.
I did more than 1 day of Destiny. I actually played Crucible with our good friends TJ, David, and Daniel the other day. I had the funniest Crucible moment. We were on that new Mars map, right? And I'm like fighting some guys and taking them down. All of a sudden, this dude comes. You know how like on the side of point B, control point B.
No.
There's like 3 different ways that you can get into that point, and it's like a kind of a bottlenecking area. I'm standing outside of, I guess to the left if you're facing the back of the map. But I'm standing outside to the left, and this guy comes running out of the door, and he's like shooting at me, and he like jumps to do a cool move, and he jumps over a rail and just falls and dies. It's one of the funniest PvP moments I've ever seen in Destiny because it's just so much stupidity went into that decision. He was like too busy trying to kill me and not paying attention. But yeah, making some progress on my armor. That's about it. Nothing too exciting.
I don't find anything funny in Destiny. Like every time I kill something with a tractor cannon, Trey laughs hard.
That's not true. Anytime I kill something with a tractor cannon,
no, even when we were playing, like you just laugh really hard.
Tractor cannon is the funniest gun,
but it's not.
It's so funny.
But it does the same thing over and over again. That's like saying, what's that comedian? Any like just bland comedian's funny that tells the same joke over. It's the same thing over and over again.
I
so
still
it's not
find
funny.
Family Guy funny after 20 seasons. Obviously, I don't have a refined taste in comedy.
I just never find tractor cannon funny. And you hit the dude and they die, and it's like, oh,
it's so
gotta
funny
kill.
It's funny in Mayhem right now because you can cancel out people's supers with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's not funny though.
That's my favorite way to play. That's when we play Mayhem. It's like, all right, tractor cannon, here we go.
Sure, but again, that's not funny though. That's just smart playing, right?
It's also a dick move.
Sure, I mean,
I don't think it is.
Night Stalker's a dick move.
Well, considering you have to like
Night
get
Stalker
super kills right now.
Yeah, Night Stalker and PvP and Mayhem is a dick move.
Yeah, but like I got my super kills without Mayhem. So I believe everyone can do it.
Hammer Bro is a dick move in Mayhem as well.
All the Titan classes are dick moves. If you're playing a Titan in Mayhem, you're a dick.
No, Striker is easier to take down than Hammer Bro.
Yeah, I
Striker
guess that's
and
true,
Sentinel are both easier to take down.
I feel like Striker just does so much more. It hits you a lot faster.
Sure, but a Hammer Bro can be across the map and just toss a hammer up, and it can, if I'm here and it hits that wall, I'm dead, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Hammer Bros are just ridiculous.
Yeah, I made some progress on my armor. I'm doing okay. I had fun playing Crucible with my friends the other day. Our friends the other day. Friends that you introduced me to. And that's about it. That's about all I've done. I was hoping that we would get a code for...
What's TJ and David's last name?
Brocker.
Oh, good job. What's Daniel's last name?
I want to say Krupa, but that's not right.
That's way off.
What's it start with?
Ninja.
No. Ninja. Starts with an S.
Statham?
Very good. Stedham.
Statham. I do know Daniel Krupa, but that's not him.
Daniel Krupa.
I'm pretty sure he used to work at IGN. I was hoping to get a code for Dead Cells this week because I did apply for one, but never heard back.
It just got out of alpha, right? It's an official game now.
Yeah. It fully released on
alpha
Tuesday.
Or beta?
I think beta. I think it's out of beta.
If it's out of alpha, it's not ready yet.
I think it was essentially like in Steam Greenlight format, but it released. It looks really good. I'll probably end up buying it sometime this weekend, because it looks so fucking good. But I was hoping we would get a code, but nope. I applied a little bit too late.
I realized pretty quick I'm not a fan of roguelike games. Don't like them.
Depends on the style, I guess.
I just don't like them.
What'd you play, Chris?
Wow. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's that time of the year, man.
Making progress. I'm. What is that? 15, like 6,000 points away from Exalted in the Nightfallen, so I can get the Nightborn race open, and then just playing other classes. I get into the Dungeon Finder every once in a while, which is awesome. I don't know why all games don't have that. I just don't understand it. Because you just queue into it and you can go do whatever the hell you want. You just stick in it. You don't have to stay in a lobby. You're not like in a loading screen. You just go do whatever the hell you want. And once it finds you, it pops. It's like, oh, that's fucking great. I can still do whatever I want and then still be in this queue. I just don't understand why all games don't do that.
It's because Blizzard is very ingenious about their game design and then they just steal ideas from the community.
Sure. Because all games should be stealing ideas from the community.
Well, that's what they do.
Because the community's not stupid.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. They just allow people to put mods in their game because they know, like, oh, we can just put this in our own game with our own flavor.
Sure.
So it's just like, okay, yeah, go ahead. Program stuff for our games.
But that's something like it was super funny like a week or two ago. In the Bungie Weekly Update, they put a link to another site's collection site so that you can see what legendary stuff that you had. I was like, why don't you have this built into your own fucking app?
Yep.
Like, why don't you have your own app? Why are you linking to someone else's shit?
Yeah. And then I guess it was Tuesday or one of those nights. It was the same night I think Trey, you played Crucible with everybody. Mm-hmm. He sent a text out to our little group message and was like, "Hey, I'm not having any luck with guided games. Can somebody jump on and do the Nightfall with me?"
Oh yeah.
And it's like, just queue up for the Nightfall and just go play. Like, I don't understand why you can't do that.
Especially
I don't understand why you have to be in a fucking orbital screen to wait for the freaking Nightfall to happen.
Especially now that the Nightfall's a fucking joke.
Ah, Jesus Christ, man.
Like, I don't get it. But
yeah, I'm not going to say anything about Destiny because it's not necessarily positive.
There's a significant amount of Destiny in the news today.
That's fine.
Are you ready to talk about the news, or did you have more to say about? Wow.
I haven't even raided yet because I can't. I don't even know. I don't even know you can jump in the raid finder, but I'd like to find guys to play with or people to play with.
I would say do the raid finder first.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like it's not.
It's like a dumbed down version of raids. Yeah, exactly. I know. But yeah, it's just fun. Good stuff. Tons of shit to do. Like, I swear to God, it just doesn't end.
Yep.
Just does not end.
Years and years of content.
I know, man.
Layered upon each other.
Freaking crazy.
And then the what is it? The new mode's coming out. The new old school, like original, like it's vanilla WoW's coming out soon.
Vanilla WoW servers. So, yep. Sure. God. And then Battle for Azeroth looks great. So before we move forward, it's things like this that are in other games. Elder Scrolls Online does it. WoW does it. Guild Wars does it really well because they have the whole living world. But like every Tuesday after the main reset or the weekly reset, the War of Thorns is going on right now. So last week after the reset, you had the whole thing where Sylvanas burned to Drasil, right? And it was super cool, and you played through that entire mission. This week after the reset, you had the War for Lordaeron. The Alliance stormed Lordaeron and tried to take it back. And it was so fucking cool because it's like...
Did they succeed?
No. Sort of. They drove the Horde out of Lordaeron, but Sylvanas covered it with the Blight.
Oh, so she basically nuked it because they were losing.
Basically, yes. And so it's just really cool to be... like, I guess, on ground zero for a lot of that stuff, because you go and accept the mission and you expect it to be like a solo thing, but it was a group of 25 people. It was basically a small, like, instanced raid. And then so, like, there's 25 people going through this entire mission. Everybody's talking on chat, we're people, and there's no, like, it was easy mission. It was an easy mission. It wasn't like it was
Yeah, you don't have to like coordinate.
Yeah, it wasn't
everyone.
hard or anything like that, but it was really cool because it was literally the battle for Lordran. So you have siege tower. There was like 8 or 9 siege towers in front of Lordran, and you're storming, and then there's a whole thing of horde. It wasn't PvP; it was all NPCs, and it was a huge battle. Like it was giant, and just stopping and looking around, it's like holy shit! It really felt like you were in the middle of this war. And then people are talking, and you end up fighting Sarfang. And I even put on there, I was like, I swear to God, if we end up killing Sarfang, I'm going to be pissed. But he surrendered, which story-wise, that's really good because he can still be the next war chief of the Horde.
So
it's just really cool.
You were playing on Horde?
No, I was playing Alliance.
Oh, why were you playing Alliance?
Because that's what my Demon Hunter is, and you have to be 110 to be
I had no idea. I
I
thought your main was... That's your main, right?
well, I mean, it's my 110. I don't necessarily think I really have a main yet. I haven't decided. Once I get a Horde up to 110, I think I'll decide whether or not I'm going to pull for both sides, whichever side. The only reason my Demon Hunter's 110 is because it starts at level 98. That's and you have to have a 110 to play the War of Thorns campaign.
Will the War of Thorns campaign still be available after Battle for
Sure,
Azeroth
yeah.
releases?
I'm sure you can go play those initial missions. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I don't know. I would assume you could.
Yeah, unless like we get another expansion like Cataclysm, which like wiped out stuff in the past, then it should still be playable.
Sure, it's really cool. It was a really cool moment. It's really cool to be like on Ground Zero, part of that. I can say I was there, like the Destiny shit with the armor. Like I can say I was there day one because I have the mount to prove it. Because you get a mount after the stuff. It's just really cool. And it was a really cool moment. Like I don't know if you could do that in Destiny. I don't know if you could instance in with a bunch of random people and go do all this stuff. I don't know if Destiny has a structure to do something like that. But like
you could. It's just like
would they actually do it?
But that's the thing. Like Bungie doesn't treat their game like an MMO. Like
right.
It's kind of like the whole thing. Like right now, there's this big, the next big raid secret thing is the Cade Spicy Ramen quest.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool that we're gonna have a final moment with Cade.
Sure.
But why can't we have a thing where like an introductory mission that launches for everyone, and it's like, oh hey, go investigate.
Sure, yeah.
This weird thing in the reef, and it's like one mission, and it kind of like leads into Forsaken. But
sure, yeah.
They won't do that because they won't admit their game's an MMO.
Right, and a really cool thing to do, and it doesn't have to be 20 people because they don't have the infrastructure to do it. It could be 6, right? 6 per instance. Or 9 per instance, because that's they've already said we can have 9 in every instance. Or you get to the tower one day and Ikora is freaking out because something's wrong at the farm, and so you say, "I'm ready for the mission. Hold X," and you get put into a queue. Sure, fine, whatever. But everybody's doing this, so the queue should pop fast. And all of a sudden, you teleport to the farm, and there's Hive or there's Fallen all over the farm trying to take it over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit like that should happen in Destiny, but it doesn't. And I don't know why it doesn't.
Because they don't want to admit it's an MMO.
Moments like that are just really cool from a storyteller because you had nobody knew. Like I think everybody knew there was going to be a next quest, and especially people in the beta. But for me, I didn't know. I knew that on reset another quest was going to pop up, but I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. So when I got the initial quest box to pop up, it's Anduin talking. He's like, "We're about, ready yourselves because we're about to take Lordran." And I thought to myself, like, "Holy shit, we're gonna go fucking take Lordran back! Like that's amazing." Super fucking cool moment that the Alliance is finally taking a stand, and they're gonna go take back a city that was just raised by orcs. Hell, I don't know. That was probably No, that might have been like Burning Crusade or Lich King when Lordran was taken. Mm-hmm. It was a long ass time ago.
Actually, I think it was 3. It was just 3.
Oh, Warcraft 3. You may be right.
Yeah, because
it was before Arthas was the Lich King.
Yeah, and I think essentially like it was like the reverse of what happened, where the humans end up like nuking their own city.
Sure, yeah,
because the blight was coming.
Yeah, and it's really cool because like again, we're just now starting to get in. I just finished the starting levels with my Horde character, and the first thing you do is you have to go to the Undercity to talk to Sylvanas. And to get to the Undercity, it's underneath Lordran. So I got to Lordran, and it's just a ghost town. Like, legitimately, nobody's there. There's no NPCs. There's just, like, little random ghosts kind of floating around everywhere. It was creepy. It was really creepy when you get there. There's no music. There's a little bit of in the background. It's like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. So I started looking up Lordra and what it was. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. And then now, come Tuesday, I get this quest where it's like, we're going to take back a city that was lost. It's like, God, that's fucking cool, man. Fucking cool. And it's just, it's just cool shit. But that's also 11 years on a game.
Yeah.
And Destiny's only 4 years old. So.
Well, I mean, there's always hope that eventually Destiny will evolve.
Sure. I hope it does.
Well, and the thing about Destiny 2 is that, like, really, realistically, it's not... I still hold by to this, even though I have complaints with Destiny 2. I still think Destiny 2, by and large, is a better game than Destiny 1.
I agree. I
think that it may be not year 3 of Destiny 1, but it's getting there. Forsaken seems very promising. But man, I just think Bungie has so many delusions about what their game is.
I agree.
And they really need to figure their shit out, and they need to stop trying to aim on the side of this is a shooter and more on the side of this is an MMO.
Sure, yeah.
Because that's why we play it.
Yep.
If it was like I don't play any online shooters.
Yeah, I think I don't know what the first thing on the list is, but it might be a really good
it's not that
segue. But you've seen the community's reaction to this latest trailer.
I actually haven't seen it.
It's nothing but positive. Like nothing but. The Destiny subreddit is just all over it. Raid Secrets is going crazy trying to find all these little things all over it.
Wow.
It's like this, hey, Bungie, look at your community and what they're saying right now after you release this trailer, because this trailer is the story trailer. That's what people play your game for. They're not playing it for fucking sweaty PvP.
Let me jump into the news, and we'll go ahead and start with that because it is a good segue, so we can keep talking about that. In their PvP, also, this is a very general. I did not go into very specific details with this because I figured we could just talk about it rather than me having to read 6 paragraphs worth of shit. But in their PvP live stream, Bungie finally shed light on how their weapon and combat will work pre-Forsaken launch and post-Forsaken launch. They broke down how weapon slots, ammo, the new Masterwork system, and mods will work, as well as smaller twerks like time to kill and existing super changes. Later in the week, a trailer exploring the Dreaming City was released, giving players a glimpse of the new endgame. So first on the PvP live stream, was there anything in there that really stuck out to you?
That was a real boring stream.
I thought the beginning was really interesting. I really like the new Masterwork system. Did you watch it at all, Ev?
No.
I really like the new Masterwork system. Essentially, instead of just having one Masterwork, you level up your weapon over time, and it increases one specific stat on the weapon. So like in the case of Better Devils, which they showed, it increases its range. And then at level 7, you unlock kill counters that you can switch between. So you don't have to have a Crucible Masterwork weapon or a Vanguard Masterwork. You can kind of just switch either one and start counting kills with it. And then the mod system is really fucking cool. I just like the fact that I can take a gun and you have mods like, oh, you get more damage while you're jumping in the air, or this gun has better handling, or this gun does more damage against red bar enemies or yellow bar or bosses. So it's the idea you can finally have that raid loadout, right? Where it's like, oh man, I'm gonna have this assault rifle that's really good at taking down Callus because it has this specific mod on it.
Sort of. And hypothetically, in theory, yes, you're 100% right. You can have that. But they also showed off armor and stuff. So armor's going back to D1. You have armor that drops and it's all random. There's a chance that it could reload assault rifles faster. There's a chance that it could lower the cooldown of fusion rifles. It's all these different random perks that could come on armor. That's awesome, right? That's great for a person that is looking to grind Destiny. Unfortunately, though, and I think you're in this window too, I don't think you're going to have time to create a good loadout for the raid because number one, that those things are locked to whatever the armor is that drops. So let's say you're going for a set of armor, right? You really want the new raid armor. So you go play the raid over and over and over and over and over again, and you keep getting the chest piece you want dropped. However, the mods aren't right. Shit, that's not the mod I want on this loadout. So you go do it again. Chest piece drops again. Yes. Fuck, it's not the mods I want. It's not the right freaking loadout. So yes, in theory, yes, you can create a really cool loadout with all these different things. However, it's going to take a lot of fucking work to get to it.
But for me, it's not specific. I as of right now in D2, and it doesn't sound like this is going to change that much after Forsaken, what your armor is doing is really seems so inconsequential to the rest of the game. You could essentially be wearing any piece of armor, and the amount that your gameplay is going to change is so little that it doesn't matter. For me,
I actually I noticed the mods that are in armor right now. I noticed that when I have 3 grenade cooldown mods on my armor as opposed to not having it. I noticed that.
To me, it just doesn't make as big of a difference as whatever my gun's doing. Now, that being said, that doesn't, I'm still not crazy about random rolls, and Bungie did not sell me on random rolls. But I also played a lot of Destiny 1. And the reality about Destiny 1, not defending random rolls, because random rolls should go away and they should die and never come back, that's obviously never going to happen.
Right.
But I played a lot of Destiny 1, and it's like, did I ever get the perfect roll for a Mago loop?
No, absolutely.
No, I didn't, but I had a pretty good Imago loop.
Sure.
So, I'm never gonna be the fucking like mid-maxed character that's wearing the perfect thing, because I don't have time to do that.
Sure.
Unless you guys want to pay me to live stream Destiny, which I'm down for you to do. But I like that there's a little bit more versatility with weapons now. And I also really like how they're completely getting rid of purple mods. I fucking hate purple mods.
Sure, I do. Yes, I hate the mods.
Because they limit so much. They limit what you can do so much.
I hate the mod system in general. However, I don't like that they're locking energy weapons for a specific type. That kind of I really, really like to be able to switch my energy weapons. If I want to use Uriel's Gift, I should be able to just use Uriel's Gift. Then now essentially, right, you have to have 3 different Uriel's Gifts. 1 arc, 1 void, 1 solar. If you really, hypothetically speaking, if you really
are they
want
locking
to,
it on drop, or are they locking it per weapon? Like Uriel's Gift will always be arc?
They're locking it per drop.
Oh, interesting.
But that's the thing is Uriel's might not ever drop anymore after Forsaken. So whatever your Uriel's Gift is right now, when Forsaken September comes around, that element that's in it right now is what it's going to be.
Well,
so like, hypothetically speaking, like I just want to use Uriel's Gift because that's what I'm the most effective at killing things, right? And this is just small little micro instance. This isn't Destiny 2 at a whole. So now you have to have 3 different Uriel's Gifts: 1 arc, 1 void, 1 solar. Except your arc and void
might not have good rolls.
Well, and that's man, that fucking sucks.
I don't see myself doing that. For me personally, I don't see myself doing that so much unless it just happens to be like, oh, I got 3 really good rolls on 3 different
but a lot of people do
gifts.
like.
But I think the thing that's exciting for me is right now one of the biggest problems with Destiny 2 is that you have all these weapons, but you really get pigeonholed to using a couple of those weapons. Like there are so many guns in that game that I haven't even touched, and I've had no desire to touch because it's like, oh man, it's not as good as my Uriel's Gift or my Cabot. So I'm going to use that. I guess like it will encourage me more when I get that AR that drops for the weapon type that I want. I'll actually give it a shot until I find something better. I might find more guns that I like.
Sure, for you, but I think, and I agree with you, but I think for the community as a whole, random rolls is going to create a meta. Which now in LFG, you're going to see if you don't have X, Y, and Z loadout with A, B, and C god rolls, you can't run with us.
Well, my hope and
that's what's going to happen.
My hope would be that like right now in Destiny 2, there are obviously guns that are better than others. I mean,
sure,
let's take the exotics out, but there are some legendaries that are better than others. But the reality is that if you put any 2 guardians up against each other, or are comparing damage between the 2, the difference in damage is so little that you can really use whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
I would really hope, and Bungie, you can't rely on Bungie for shit, so I don't think this is going to happen, but I would really hope that they found a way to balance it.
I hope so, too.
To where it's like, yeah, you might be more effective if you have a better Devils with Firefly and Outlaw, but that doesn't really make a huge difference compared to the guy that has the shit roll on his better Devils.
Right. And I agree with you. I do have a little bit of faith in Bungie that they are able to do that. What I don't have faith in is a community that creates false metas. And unfortunately that's the deciding factor, right? Is now, if you don't have Gallahorn, you can't raid with us. If you don't have Gallahorn, you can't fight Skolas with us. If you're not playing a Sunbreaker, I'm sorry, is it Sunbreaker? No, Dawnbreaker, you can't raid with us.
At least we don't play with other people, right?
That's very true.
We just have to fit into Daniel's meta.
But yeah, it just, there's a lot of great shit coming out of Forsaken, and there's so many really cool things that I'm very much looking forward to. But it's just like it's the core game mechanics that I fell in love with in Destiny 2. They're gone. You know, sure, I love the mod system, but man, I love the fact that that random rolls weren't there. I love the fact that Uriel's gift is Uriel's gift, and that's the way it always will be. And I think random rolls is number one, giving the smaller community what they want, but also number two, it's like I think you've said it before, it's just Bungie being lazy. Now it means random rolls means Bungie doesn't have to come up with weapons. Yeah, you don't have to come up with 500 to 1,000 weapons every year, which I mean, I don't know, there's 200 people working there. I would assume a group of 10 or 20 guys can come up with all those weapons. Doesn't seem hard.
Yeah.
If we sat down right here, I'm sure we could come up with a bunch of different type of fucking perks and things to do and really cool things weapons can do. But now it's just now they only have to come up with a few because, like you said, like we talked about on the way to me dropping you off at work, Masterwork Legendaries are going to have 3 different random rolls in them. 3. Mm-hmm. The main perk, the second to the last tree, and then one of the ones that affects like handling and shit.
Yeah.
There's 3 different random things that can drop on a weapon, and like, fuck, man, you would better be giving me in 1 week. I better get 50 Better Devils drops.
Yeah.
That period, or then what am I doing?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the place that we're at now, though. Is so many of those. I will say that in defense of random rolls, one of the things that really sucks about Destiny 2 right now is every time I get a legendary engram, it means absolutely nothing.
Yes.
It means nothing. There is no value in legendary engrams anymore. But
I agree with
when I go and we play for an hour and do patrols or strikes or whatever,
and you get like
we go back to the tower and I have 5 legendaries. Like every one of those legendaries is going to be exciting for me to open again.
100%.
And that's silly. It's silly that's the way that you have to work around that system. But it is exciting. Yes. It is nice that like in the future it's like it's not going to be like, God, I just want to get these all out of the way.
Yes,
I just want to be done with these and have a billion fucking legendary shards that I'm never going to use for anything.
I 100% agree with you. But after 6 months of not getting that Better Devils drop that you really want, and it's like, I mean, what the fuck, man? What the actual fuck? Because
we'll see.
Better Devils with Outlaw and Firefly sounds fucking great.
We'll see. I mean, I also like for me like. I tend to play Destiny in a little bit of obliviousness.
Better Devils wouldn't drop with Firefly. It's kinetic.
Yeah, I just used that example because it was like one of the few perks I know off the top of my head.
But explosive rounds and Outlaw on Better Devils, yes, please.
But I
Rampage. No, I'm just kidding. That's a little much.
God, what was I saying? I was saying something.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, it's okay. I don't know. I'm willing to wait this out.
Sure.
To see what happens. And honestly, like if Forsaken comes out and everything isn't the way that I want it to be, well, Anthem comes out in 4 months and Division comes out in 5 months.
I will 100% be in Forsaken day one and enjoying myself because I always enjoy playing Destiny. It's just right now there's no reason for me to play Destiny. So like you asked me on the way to work, Trey goes, "Hey, how's WoW treating you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's better than Destiny." Right now it is. I hope come August 28th and September 4th I say the opposite. Because Destiny's fucking awesome, and that's where my friends are. So
real fast, not to harp on Destiny for too much longer. What's so exciting about the Streaming City trailer? Because I saw it and I was like, "This is pretty cool."
It's from a lore standpoint, it's really cool because you see the Queen's Tetsuan, I think is what they're called. Those like mages that helped her, huh? Teishuan, something like that.
Szechuan sauce?
Yeah, Szechuan sauce. You see, so at the beginning of The Taken King, that initial trailer where the Siege of Saturn's happening, or whatever the hell they called that, when Morozov creates those kind of axiom bolts that travel through space and start destroying some of the Taken ships, or the Hive ships, she had like 3 or 4 of these helpers casting these things, right? This latest trailer shows those witches like halfway taken.
And they look like enemies.
Yeah, they totally look like enemies.
They look like they're filling in the roles of the wizards.
Yeah, which is super cool. And if you kind of just watch it, there's a scene where this Guardian's walking into like this. Honestly, it looks like Oryx's throne room. 100% to me looked like Oryx's throne room. So you're walking into this room, and there's 3 like pitch black knights, and in the back there's some sort of hive thing with a red cape and kind of like very, very orcsy looking.
Yeah.
That could be Savathun. Like, I have no idea. I don't know where they're going with this, but there's a bunch of shit in this thing. Petra Sol's talking through the whole thing, and she even says there's an immense creature at the heart of the Dreaming City that needs to be taken down. What that immense creature is, I have no fucking clue. But with the Awoken being taken, like, I would love to see Marasov as the raid boss, the final raid.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
That would be fucking cool.
That'd be really fucking cool.
So cool, man. There's a reason Uldren's doing all the shit, right?
Yeah.
That like I said, to justify Uldren's, maybe it doesn't justify it for everybody, but to me it would justify Uldren's means to an end if he's just trying to save his sister, right? He's breaking out the Barons because he thinks that's the only way to stop the Taken. Right, exactly. I just think there's some depth in that
I can't
story.
remember if we talked about that on the podcast or afterwards.
We did. No, we talked about it on the podcast.
And to be fair, too, like, he might see this as his birthright, to take the palace back.
Sure, and that's also kind of a little bit of depth to Uldren too, right? Maybe he's just trying to take over the Awoken.
He is a prince.
Sure. To me, though, his love for his sister is a little bit more in his higher in his priority list. So if his sister's in danger and what he's doing is all to save his sister,
yeah.
I mean, I'm behind it. Like, I totally understand. I don't personally have. I have a god sister, which is the closest thing I've ever had, and I would do anything for that girl. So that's the thing. It's like I don't have a blood sister, but I definitely can understand where he's coming from there.
Yeah.
Plus, it fits the Western story, right? Protection of family.
Yeah, sure. It makes sense. It's just cool, man. I have faith in Bungie, and I'm going to love it. I just hope there's that depth there. It'd be great.
Next up, Nintendo released a new Super Smash Bros. Direct. You can call it their E3 Part 2. In it, they revealed...
For real, because that's all they showed at E3 was Smash Brothers.
In it, they revealed Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series as a new fighter, Richter Belmont as his Echo fighter.
What does Echo mean?
So Echo is it's essentially a fighter that does the same exact thing as another fitter, but it's like a different skin, and the abilities might slightly change, so damage output might be different.
So do you change the skin, or is it a whole nother character to choose on the screen?
So they talked about that. You can either lay out all the fighters, including Echo fighters, because like...
the Echo Fighters is a new thing.
No, Echo Fighter. They moved certain characters into the Echo Fighter position. So, like, Wolf would be an Echo Fighter of Fox.
But Wolf is a whole nother character.
He's considered a whole nother character. They might interact slightly different, but they play the same.
Got it.
Or there's another option.
Is Falco an Echo of Fox?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. But the other option that you can have that they showed is they could have the Echo Fighter stacked on top of the fighter that they represent. So if you go to Link, there'll be like a little icon in the corner to switch between Toon Link, Young Link, or regular Link.
Okay,
just
cool.
to make it a little bit more organized.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
As well as Dark Samus and Chrom as new Echo Fighters. Chrom from Fire Emblem, which is really fucking cool.
He's going to take over Ike, or like an Echo of Ike?
I think he's an Echo of Roy.
That's a weird Echo. Okay.
Nintendo went into detail about the number of stages in the game, 103, a new series record,
Jesus Christ.
and the staggering 800 pieces of music that will be included in the title. The Direct ended with one more character reveal, the long-requested King K. Rool from the Donkey Kong series. And Waluigi fans cried. 800 pieces of music. They were showing that off. So fucking cool.
The music's cool, but 103 stages?
Yeah.
How many stages are in the... how many stages in the Wii U version?
The Wii U version held the record for the most after DLC came out, and that was 56 stages.
So my first thought when I read that was like, I don't remember seeing anywhere close to 100 stages when we played the Wii U version. Mm-hmm. I remember like 25, maybe at the most, but I apparently am very wrong.
Yeah, I think there was 50 before DLC, but 56
stages,
and most of those stages aren't new. I think it has hardly any new stages in it.
Fucking crazy.
But they brought old stages back, and certain stages are going to be like super remastered. But all of the ones from N64 are going to keep that N64 look.
It's fucking crazy.
I still can't get over the 800 pieces of music. They said 900 if you include like title musics and main screen music and all that. There's over 900 songs in the game.
I can get that. They're only 5 minutes a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can sort of see that, especially over the last Nintendo 64.
Yep.
20 years, 22 years.
And also, it's 15 No, more than that, probably 20 or 30 different franchises that they're including music from.
Absolutely.
It has a shit ton of customization options. You can set specific rules for different maps. You can create playlists for songs that play on each map. You can, customize which items appear on that map.
I would not have the patience to go through a playlist of that
wouldn't
music.
either.
My favorite is going to a map and just putting Pokeballs on like an instant spawn over and over and over again. Just throw Pokeballs. That's the best thing.
But yeah.
What you didn't put in here is we saw Luigi die.
Yeah. that was fucking dark, man.
Like legitimately, dude.
Did you watch that trailer?
Yes. When they showed freaking Belmont, it's like the guy comes down with his fucking scythe and just like slashes at Luigi, and then like liquid shown coming off of Luigi, and Luigi's ghost gets like basically ripped out of him, and it's like, oh my god, they just killed Luigi.
It's fucking
holy
dark,
shit, man.
And then Nintendo had to, because the internet was up in flames. They're like, is Luigi dead? Is Luigi dead? And Nintendo UK went on Twitter and just posted, Luigi is okay. But yeah, it's
crazy.
Man, Smash Bros. Like, say what you will about the game, and you don't have to like it as a fighter. You don't have to like it as a game. But I love the way this was my favorite thing about the Wii U version. And I said this at the time that it came out. Super Smash Bros. Has always felt like a museum to Japanese gaming.
Sure. Yes.
And this seems like they're embracing that. Not only with
just Japanese gaming. Yes.
Mostly Japanese gaming.
Sonic Japanese. You're right.
But it just seems like they're embracing that more with this, and also the series as a whole.
See, I was gonna go with like, this is literally Nintendo putting on the latex glove, getting plenty of baby oil, and just fucking jerking the shit out of Smash Brothers fans.
I guess,
that's
or
literally
Nintendo
what
fans.
this is.
When they said 800 pieces of music, I was like, I need to switch. That's fucking crazy to me. Anyways, in an interview with GameIndustry.biz, EA's executive vice president of strategic growth, Matt Bilby, explained that the company is using a, quote, EA moral compass, end quote, to help their developers determine the proper use of loot boxes in their titles. Quote, I ran a team internally with Electronics Art Chief Design Officer Patrick Soderlin post-Battlefront to actually redesign our game development framework and testing platforms to ensure we're giving our game teams the right guidance. We'll call it an EA moral compass. At the very beginning of development, so that we're designing our live services early, we're testing it early, testing it with gamers who are giving us feedback, so we ensure those pillars of fairness, value, and fun are true, end quote.
That's like saying this is the
President
Trump moral compass.
Yeah.
Like,
which always leads you back to colluding with Russia. I don't know. Yeah. It seems really broken.
Whatever.
I don't know. I read that and I just kind of chuckled a little bit. I don't know that I have too much to say on it. So yeah, that's fun.
Sounds like some Orwellian stuff right there.
I know.
No shit. Big Brother's hard right there.
It's very much double speak. This broke my heart a little bit, and really frustrated me. YouTuber Boomstick Gaming posted a video showing strong similarities between his review of Dead Cells and IGN's review by writer Filip Miucin. After the video game's Steam on various gaming sites and forums all alleging plagiarism, IGN responded by taking the review down and investigating the incident. IGN then posted an official statement stating that they had parted ways with the reviewer and planned on re-reviewing the game. Kotaku reported on the story and received a reader tip with more alleged plagiarism from Miucin in the form of a video review for FIFA 18 he posted on his personal YouTube channel before working at IGN. In the review, Miucin seems to use a similar style of rewording certain phrases from a Nintendo Life review. Miucin has yet to comment on the situation. So here's my thing. Reviewing video games, posting video reviews of them, and getting paid to do it is literally the best and easiest job in the entire world. There are very few things that are as good as that. How the fuck do you fuck that up by plagiarizing some YouTube channel? At the time, he had 11,000 subscribers. He's now like 30,000. But he had 11,000 subscribers. Why the fuck did you think you would get away with that?
There's two sides to this for me, at least. Number one, could he have just plagiarized flat out? Sure. Number two, I don't know who Filip Miucin. I don't know who Filip Miucin is, or like what's the word? I don't know how he mentally works. However, I know a lot of people can be influenced heavily by the things that they intake. and without even realizing it, basically regurgitate everything that they intake.
Did you watch the video?
Oh, no, not at all.
So there's two things that like make me think that this is plagiarism. Because at first I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not me giving him the benefit of the doubt. No. That's just me saying like there are a lot of people that can be heavily influenced by something and then literally have the exact same opinion without even realizing that they haven't formed their own opinion.
So when you watch,
I say the same thing about people that play Destiny, right? Or just anybody that watches streamers in general. It's like a lot of people will form their opinions around whatever their favorite streamer thinks, and they don't actually realize that all they're doing is regurgitating content.
Let me put it in perspective for you, though. So on Boomstick Gaming, he will play a section from his review, and then he will play a section from Miucin's review. Not only is the exact structure like A, B, C, D not only is that completely copied, but Miucin also essentially like, when I don't know if you used to do this in high school, but you'd be like, hey, let me copy your homework. And you'd copy the homework, but you would slightly like you'd change the sentence, but you were saying the same thing in the sentence. That's exactly what he does. So the Boomstick Gaming will say, this Metroidvania game is, very arcadey and kind of roguelike. Miucin will say, Dead Cells is a game that seems very influenced by the Metroidvania gameplay style with an arcade focus. But it's not just that he's using similar ways to describe it. He's saying it in the exact order that Boomstick is saying it. Like at certain times in the video, timestamps line up where a sentence starts and a sentence ends, and they're saying exactly the same thing, just slightly reworded. Like it's not just a matter of like, because you can watch any two reviews from any two websites and they go over similar things, right?
Yeah, and
because there's only so many ways you can talk about a game.
Well, I was gonna say, especially like a Metroidvania type game, there's no other way there's no other way to say this is a Metroidvania type game, because Metroidvania type game is the.
I mean, that was just one example. Like,
sure,
I can't remember a specific. Actually, I can pull up specific examples.
It does not matter because I believe you.
But at first I wanted to be like, oh, like, obviously no one at IGN would do this.
That's not true.
I like to believe that because, that's just I've been following IGN for so long that I want to believe that everyone there is a paragon of the gaming industry, although that might not be the case. But as that video goes on, it's just like, oh, he definitely...
Sure, I believe you.
He definitely plagiarized this video.
Yeah, I 100% believe you. I don't think IGN is the beacon of gaming news like it used to be anymore.
No, it's not.
Because I pulled up IGN this morning and I scrolled the headlines, the newest stuff. I scrolled 2 thumb swipes. Fortnite, Dead Cells, Fortnite, Dead Cells, Fortnite. And then it's like... I don't even know why I'm looking at you right now. You're not, I was looking for the Red Dead thing, which should have been the most important thing in the gaming industry right now. It's not. Fortnite is. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, IGN's not perfect, but man, just the fact that someone could fuck up their career over the course of an evening, it's so crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Fans of Square Enix's Octopath Traveller may not have to wait long for more retro-style RPGs from the company. During an earnings call for the company, Square said to expect more games like Division 11's Octopath Traveller in the future. The company danced around the subject of whether or not these titles would eventually be seen on other consoles besides the Switch, but they did say that Nintendo's hybrid console is a good place for mid-range games. For now. We'll see. They're releasing, what did they say, like 40 titles a week on fucking Switch?
You know what? Like your next thing, at first I read this and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Super fucking cool. And then the next thing comes up, it's like, never mind. They're just whatever. Go ahead.
It appears as though Bravely Default may be the next retro-style RPG to get a release from Square. Earlier this week, Square Enix's official Twitter for the Bravely Default series changed its name, blocking out some of the last characters and seemingly hinting that the Twitter account may receive a new subtitle. The changes on the Twitter account were made at the same time as a celebratory tweet was posted for 1 million units of Octopath Traveller being shipped.
Which is great. Again, I think it's awesome that Square Enix developed a Switch exclusive RPG that's actually really good, apparently.
It's doing really well.
And it's like, sweet, that's awesome. Give me more. Don't give me a game I played 5 years ago on the DS and I don't want to play again.
In my opinion, it sounds to me like they're about to announce a new Bravely Default. I don't think
if it's the new Bravely Default, cool. But if it's a port,
Bravely Third,
which I can almost like, you know, it's a 50-50 thing, but I lean more toward they're just porting Bravely Default to the fucking Switch.
Maybe, but I mean, Bravely Third is being worked on, and it's being worked on for the Switch.
Sure.
If I were them, I wouldn't necessarily be interested in porting Bravely Default or Bravely Second to the Switch.
They shouldn't be. But it would sell. But sort of.
It would sell. But I also think too, like porting a 3DS game has to be more complicated than porting any other game.
You would assume so.
Because I feel like the two screens would like throw things off. But what the fuck do I know?
It's just it's you know, I love the Switch. I fucking love it. But man, I don't want to walk into GameStop next year and just be nothing but just random shovelware titles all over that wall like the Wii ended up being. Or I don't want to open up the eShop and have to freaking scroll through thousands of games just to get to the one that I want. Or if I just want to look, right? If you go look at Steam, it's impossible to find a good game on Steam if you're just going to look.
PlayStation and Xbox right now too.
Sort of, yeah. I think PlayStation, Xbox.
I think Steam has it worse, but
yeah, I think PlayStation and Xbox do a fairly okay job of saying, "Hey, this is the new thing." But if you just go scroll through shit, it's like But if you go to Steam and you go to new releases, it's like, I don't even know what that game is. Like it looks like you fuck tentacles. I don't want that. Show me where freaking like the new GTA DLC is. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's just, I'm afraid Switch is going to end up like that.
Someone brought up a really good point. I mean, yes, I think Switch will end up like that, and that's sad. But someone brought up a really good point in a Reddit post I was reading the other day, and they were basically saying like, Nintendo's getting a lot of shit for all the ports that are coming to Switch, but during the time that it was happening, but what people don't remember is that there was a time where that was happening to PS4 and Xbox One just as much. And people were just as mad about that. He goes, but now it's not so much an issue anymore. We only get a few ports opposed to...
When PS4, Xbox One was that happening?
It was like around the time that we started Twin Stick Radio. I remember because we would bitch about it all the time because they were porting so many games from like PS3.
Not porting, they're remaking. That's different. I think,
but they weren't. But like,
I think
okay, so like take
Darksiders.
I
think they're similar for sure.
Take Darksiders Definitive Edition.
Sure,
that is not a remake. That's a port.
Sure,
that is directly a port. Like some games were remasters, but Last of Us on PS4 was not a. It wasn't a remake. It was a port.
It was an up-res version.
Sure.
And so, I think to an extent, you have to look at it like you can put that. It's a remaster, like, but Switch. And I somewhat agree with the guy's point. Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. However, Switch, they're literally just ports. Like, if you put the two together from the original to what's on the Switch, there's no difference. If you were to put Last of Us, for example, Last of Us PS4, Last of Us PS3, it's a noticeable difference between the two. I don't know if
that's the case.
I think there is.
I mean, there are examples of games that, like, Skyrim remastered.
Yeah, Halo, the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, the biggest difference between that and the other games is that it doesn't run. So
true.
They have to completely remake it every other year.
But yeah, like I agree with the guy's point to an extent, but at the same time, it's like and the difference is that yes, both are doing the same thing. However, Switch is just like port. It's literally port after port after port after port after port after port. Where the Xbox and PS4, it was like, here's a port. But here's, two or three other brand new games to
There was a
counteract
time
that.
where it was bad. It was real bad. Like
not as bad as the Switch. Not nearly as bad.
Maybe,
as the
but
Switch.
here's the other problem with the Switch that I think is not fair to the Switch is that it's getting shit for getting ports of games from this generation too.
Sure.
Like people get mad because it's getting a port of Wolfenstein 2. The game came out 8 months ago.
Sure, yes.
Like, so what exactly do you want? Do you want the system to not have any modern era games, or do you want it to, ideally,
succeed? Well, ideally, you want Octopath Traveller over and over and over again, right? Sure, ideally, that's what you want. However, Nintendo kind of backed themselves into a corner with the Wii and the Wii U, and they pretty much burned bridges with every developer out there because of just how bad those things did. And so now, unfortunately for gamers, ports are them rebuilding their relationships with developers. They're like, okay, we will develop for your console now. You know what I mean? It's just a kind of a shitty situation for gamers to be in, but Nintendo's rebuilding a rep, which is what you got to do.
I'm on the side of it not being shitty for gamers. You know, like there was a time where this was the kind of shit that we were all asking for Vita. And you know,
that's because nobody understood how many good games were exclusive to the Vita. So many.
And for a while, so many people celebrated the fact that the Vita was this indie machine that you could pick up and play any indie on. I think that Nintendo. I think the ports that we should be mad about are ports that Nintendo has personally released 15 times.
Yeah,
like, how many more times do we need Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze?
Sure, absolutely.
Like,
the difference, though, is that the Vita was a subsidiary console to the PS4, where the Nintendo Switch isn't a... It is the Nintendo console, minus the DS, of course.
Sure.
It is the Nintendo console.
Sure, but like, let's be real for a second. The majority of the people that give a shit about whether or not the Nintendo Switch is getting ports and stuff, they're using the Switch as a subsidiary console to their PC or their PS4 or Xbox
Of course, but I'm talking from company to company. Like the Vita was a secondary console to the PS4. I think it would be different if like Nintendo had a home console and a Switch. I think it'd be a little different. But
I get all that, but I'm just saying that like the relationship that gamers have with the Switch isn't different than the relationship that people had with the Vita.
Sure, I agree, but again,
and also I still hold by the fact that like other companies get away with this shit and Nintendo doesn't.
Well, because that's the thing is what I'm saying is Nintendo doesn't get away with it with gamers because there's no other alternative for Nintendo. It's just a Switch. Of course, you have the DS. I understand, but for the Vita, there was an alternative. It was a PS4. For the there wasn't for the Xbox either. Xbox gamers just don't give a fuck. They're chill bros.
They're chill bros. But like, that's the thing about the PS4 and the Vita too, is that all these games that were coming out on the Vita were also coming out on PS4 at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they were getting the same amount of shovelware. That's my whole thing, is that like just the situations aren't that different, but we want to sit here and talk about how Nintendo is flooding it over.
Sure, it's because people have a microscope to Nintendo. They always will, especially ever since the Wii U and the Wii in general.
Yep.
Especially gamers, because Nintendo has changed the face of gaming and how we play games, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. But to a lot of gamers, it's not. They just want their GameCube again. You know what I mean?
They're wrong. The GameCube was not that good of a console.
GameCube was a great console. Fucking great. It had Pokemon Coliseum, yes please.
I didn't like Pokemon Coliseum.
Twilight Princess, yes please.
To me, Twilight Princess is a Wii game.
Oh, good call. But it was better on GameCube.
Wasn't Melee like the birth of like competitive?
I'm gonna say something very controversial.
Maybe
I'm gonna say something very, very controversial. Melee is not as good as people remember it. People just have a bunch of fucking fake nostalgia for it because it was the one they played the most.
Well, you can say that about any
game.
I think you can say that about every Nintendo game.
So far, well, except for the fact that like Super Mario World is, unless Super Mario Odyssey is better, I haven't played it.
Sure.
But Super Mario World is still the best Mario game. Unequivocally.
You can say yes,
but like
I agree
people
with you,
like
but Mario
people
is
think
not the best game ever. It's like that game's so boring. Anyway, go ahead.
People think that fucking Melee is so good. I think that Smash 4 is better than it in every way.
I think people think Melee is good. It's the nostalgic factor. It's the fact that everybody still wants a GameCube controller for their Switch consoles. You know what I mean? It's like everybody. I think Melee. It may not have been the best Smash Brothers, which I think I tend to agree with you. I think Brawl, not Brawl. Was Brawl the one on the Wii U?
No, that's 4. Wii U.
Wii U. Which one's on the Wii U?
Yeah, for Wii U. That's literally what it's called.
I think that is the best Smash Brothers, and then the one for the Switch, which is literally just that engine and that gameplay style moved to the Switch. I think this will be the best Smash Brothers.
I think
ever.
It will be too.
But I think Melee is what put Smash Brothers on the map, like really put it on the map. And then so I think it's that nostalgia factor. It's the nostalgia fap, right?
Yeah.
It's like freaking, it's ridiculous.
There are some great GameCube games, but I don't think the GameCube was as good of a console as everyone gives it credit for.
Maybe not. I think it was definitely, to be 100% honest with you, I think it was on par with PS2 and Xbox to an extent.
Definitely on par with Xbox.
In that generation, I think it was really It's very close.
The older I get, even though I never owned a PS2, but when you look back at all the PS2 games that came out, like to me, there's no debate about the PS2 being the best of the 3 consoles.
Speaking of fucking PlayStation 2, has nothing to do with the PlayStation 2. It has everything to do with the PlayStation 4. It's not in the notes, but they just announced a celebratory 500 million PS4 Pro. That is a gorgeous fucking console.
The clear blue one.
The clear blue PS4 Pro. Good with the gold. It's clear blue PS4 with, is it bronze?
Yeah.
That is a gorgeous fucking console. My God.
But out of those 3, I think the PS2 is probably the best when you consider the entire library. But
sure, but it also had 15-year library.
Sure, but GameCube and Xbox, like
11-year library, whatever that is.
When you look at like the games on there that were really big and important, like on Xbox,
sure,
KOTOR and Halo 1 and 2.
Sure, I agree. I do, but
it kind of brings them up. And
I think the GameCube would be my favorite Nintendo console.
Super Nintendo for me.
Actually,
Although there was.
Dude, the DS, man. That's
you know what? DS
console.
You're right. It's the DS for me too.
Such a good console. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, we still got a shit ton of news
Speaking
to go
of DS,
through.
The World Ends With You is getting ported.
Look when Justin's not here. We have good conversations. There's no arguments, and there's still like 6 things in the news list. Get the hell out of here, Justin.
Get prepared to hear the word UB a lot.
I miss you, Justin.
Ubisoft's UB Art games, Child of Light and Valiant Hearts are headed to the Switch. Shortly after the announcement on the UB blog, creative director Patrick Pallord confirmed that the team had been working on the port. Along with the tweet is an image of Child of Light running on a Switch with a Child of Light 2 script seemingly left out in order to tease a sequel to the fan favorite game. I still haven't played Child of Light. I really want to, but it's. I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's like the UBR initiative was really cool. They had a bunch of really cool games that came out, and then it kind of died off. I'm glad to see that like more of these games might be coming out in the future because they're all pretty good.
What's Valiant Hearts?
Valiant Hearts was like the almost Telltale style game that took place during World War I.
Every time I see Valiant Hearts, I think Vagrant Story. PS1 game, Square Enix. Actually, at that time, it was Square Soft.
You're an old man.
I know. So, like, I always get confused between Vagrant Story and Valiant Hearts. I don't know why. It just happens. This is the V.
This is a fun story. In the FAQ for Fallout 76's BETA, Bethesda revealed that
the beta.
What?
It's the beta.
No. It's BETA.
Whatever.
Break it early. Test all right. I don't know. I forgot what.
You were going good. You were going good.
I know.
Break it early was really good.
I know the first half of the things.
I don't think that's what the anagrams. I don't think that's what it means.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, hold on. Let me look
I
it
didn't
up.
know that.
It's pretty funny.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you look it up because I'm reading. Oh shit. Where was I at? Okay, in the FAQ for Fallout 76's BETA, Bethesda revealed that the upcoming test will most likely be a full version of the game, and that players' progress will carry over to the full launch of the game. The FAQ mentions that the beta will be available for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, in parentheses, via Bethesda.net. PC Gamer received a response from a Bethesda rep confirming that the title and its beta will not be available through Steam at all.
Okay, keep going. Look it up. I gotta open the door.
Is someone here?
Yes.
Can you just pause it?
No, keep going.
I don't have anything to say without you. Unless Everett wants to talk. Everett, how do you feel about this not being on Steam?
I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
Well, see, this is why I don't ask you questions, Everett. That was not a response. How am I supposed to go off of that? There is no way to fucking play volley with that statement.
I mean, how do you feel?
I don't want another fucking launcher on my PC. It's already bad enough that I have to split up Blizzard and Steam.
Can't you just add it to the Steam library?
Maybe, but when you add something like that to the Steam library, even if it's a game that's already on Steam, there's like a weird, like it just looks weird on the Steam library.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone insists on having separate launchers. It's just annoying.
Meh.
I'll still play it.
That's
use
called
Bethesda's
PC
launcher.
gaming.
Yeah.
You know how many different launchers I have on my PC right now?
Probably 6.
Yeah, that's pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just PC gaming. Which what you deal with.
I just don't like it. I don't like it, and that's okay. I can accept it and not like it and grumble about it. Did you find what the?
No, I did not. Yeah, I mean I actually already downloaded the Bethesda launcher and got, because I'm in the beta, so I already got it all downloaded and kind of ready for whenever they go live. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. It's just something you deal with, right? You got the Blizzard launcher, you got the freaking ArenaNet launcher, you've got the Steam launcher, the Bethesda launcher, you got them all. Just got to have them.
Yeah.
It's PC gaming.
I actually don't mind launchers so much because a lot of times they give you news within their feeds.
It's very true.
So you kind of like get updated on games before
True.
they actually.
Where Steam, you just bring it up, it goes straight to your library. It's like,
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, hey, we have an update, so you can't play it right now.
Yeah, good call.
How do you feel? Like, are you excited that you're essentially going to be playing the full game with the beta?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if they didn't really say, but they didn't say there's like a cap. So you just play, like if I decide beta starts and it's 3 days long, if I play for 72 hours, do I just go?
Just play?
Yeah, it's like, what, you know.
Beta stands for Break It Early Test Application.
Okay. So yeah, it's I think it's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I just wonder what you could actually carry over, though, right?
It said player progress.
Yeah, you carry over your entire progress
Yeah,
from
but
the
what,
beta.
what does that actually mean? Like
That means
levels?
that when you start the beta,
Like what? What'd you say?
Like levels?
Oh,
I,
levels, yeah.
I
Yes.
assume that when you start the beta, you're starting from the beginning of the game, and you're essentially just making that save. So whatever you accomplish over
Yeah.
the course of those 3 days or whatever, that's where you'll pick up whenever you start the game. So you're
Sure.
playing the full game at launch. So if you get to level 10 during the beta, you will start the game at level 10 when it fully launches
Yeah,
in
that's what I
November.
would assume too. Which is cool. I think it's neat. I think
a lot of betas should do that.
I agree. Not all betas. A lot of them should.
Like, can you imagine if Destiny 2 had been that way, where it's like, hey, here, you get to play the game, and when this launches in September, you can start from where you left off. Instead of having to play the same missions like 16 times.
Can you imagine if your Destiny 1 character and everything that you had moved over with Destiny 2?
I don't want to talk about that.
Instead of just a fucking...
I'm done with that conversation.
And just instead of just a fucking emblem that said, here you are, you were day one. Like, thanks, I guess.
Alongside an announcement of Diablo 3's Season 14, Blizzard confirmed that they have multiple Diablo titles in the works and that we may see more details about them before the end of the year, presumably at BlizzCon. One of these titles is rumored to be a port of Diablo 3 to Switch. Blizzard, however, Blizzard has denied the existence of this port. However, anonymous sources reporting to Eurogamer insist that the port is in the works.
I'm all in for a port of Diablo 3 to the Switch. I think it's perfect for the Switch.
I feel like it would be really good on the Switch.
Perfect for the Switch.
Yeah, it's also Blizzard, so it can run on anything.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, shit, they should port World of Warcraft
Man,
to the Switch.
yeah, well, no shit, man. When I started playing WoW again, and update, because I had the old launcher Blizzard, like from fucking Warlords of Draenor. No,
Yeah.
Cataclysm. I had that launcher, and when I updated it, and it brought up the launcher, and I'm looking at the games on the side of the launcher, I was like, man, these guys don't make bad games. They just don't. It's crazy.
Even Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm is a good fucking game.
Lydia and Pearl have been trying to get me and Whitney to play Heroes of the Storm with them ever since I told them I started playing WoW. They've been trying to get me to play Heroes of the Storm with them for weeks.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like Super Smash Brothers in a MOBA form.
Yeah, and it's just fucking crazy. Like, and they make all their games. Whitney has a HP laptop that probably has 1.5 gigs of RAM, no fucking video card, and she plays WoW with me almost every night.
And it runs pretty smoothly most of the time.
Pretty damn smooth.
And it looks good. I get surprised looking over her shoulder, and I'm like, I can't believe that is running so well on your laptop.
It's fucking crazy.
Like, I just remember on my old computer, I would try to play World of Warcraft, and it was like, nope.
Yeah, it's like 2 frames a second.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Last and certainly not least, Red Dead Redemption got its first gameplay trailer today. Players will be taking the role of Arthur Morgan, the leader of a group of outlaws. Various gameplay systems were shown off, including the game's campsite area, where players will have the opportunity to build relationships with their fellow outlaws. Building these relationships can lead to the discovery of new secrets and exclusive missions. Rockstar also gave us a glimpse at the Diffuse system. As you play through the game, players will be able to interact with NPCs. As you interact with NPCs, you'll be able to choose interactions like greet, antagonize, diffuse, stop witness, threaten, dismiss, beat, and rob. These will build your character's, quote, honor, end quote, and characters will interact with you differently depending on the choices you've made. Rockstar talked a little bit about how player choice will create consequences, but they didn't go too much into it. They also said at the end of the trailer that they're going to be doing a couple more of these, so look forward to more Red Dead.
I mean,
gameplay.
we're close, dude. We're close. We're 2 months out.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
Man, this game looks fucking great. It's everything Red Dead. It's everything you want out of a Red Dead game, right?
I was thinking about this because I watched it and I was like, this looks good. And then I was trying to think of like, well, why do you think it looks good? Because when I think about it, it's like it doesn't look too wildly different from what we played in Grand Theft Auto 5 or in Red Dead Redemption. But that's the thing about Rockstar games is that I think they make incremental changes.
Sure, Rockstar has literally made the same game since GTA 3 over and over and over again.
It's like the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
Nintendo games change over the course of 10 years, not over the course of title to title.
Sure.
But every time it comes out, you're like, this looks good. I'm going to play it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, except for Breath of the Wild.
I mean, Breath of the
To
Wild.
an extent, Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is not a bad game. It's just not.
It's not a good
the best
Zelda game.
game.
Right. Yeah, like it looks fucking great. And I'm super excited for Red Dead.
Did I say it's not a good game? I meant to say it's not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. I agreed with
Okay.
you. Yeah, I get it. We're on the same page. It's not a bad game. It's just not a good Zelda game.
You're like, it is not a good game.
No, it's a great game. I went from start to finish.
Yeah, you're the only one in the house. You probably liked it the least out of the three of us. And you're the only one that's finished it.
But Red Dead looks fucking great. I think adding basically like a Rockstar version of a dialogue wheel, sort of. It's not a wheel.
Yeah.
It's the nearest comparison I can get to.
And so someone pointed out that, which I never played this game, but someone pointed out that it reminded them of the conversation system that was in the Bully games.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Which I thought was a cool thing.
It's really cool. So you don't necessarily choose what Morgan says. The dialogue plays out. In the video you saw Morgan stumble upon what essentially looked like a guy trying to rob a wagon. The horse was on the ground, looked like he was dead. This guy was kind of like trembling up against the wagon, and this guy you walk up to, and this guy starts acting kind of like all nonchalant. And you're kind of walking up, and there's this dialogue happening between Morgan and the guy, and then you have four or five different options. And you can choose what you're going to do. You can pull your gun. You can try to defuse it. You can rob him.
I think is the right choice.
You can pull your gun and shoot. Like there's a bunch of different ways that this is going to happen. You're not necessarily choosing what Morgan says. You're choosing the actions, how he reacts, which I think is really super cool. Like, sometimes in BioWare games, it kind of slows down to a crawl, especially when you're in cutscenes and dialogue stuff, because you're always thinking, like, well, what should I say? You know what I mean?
What would I say in this situation?
Exactly.
That was the fun thing about Mass Effect 2's like reaction system.
Yes.
Where like you could see someone's doing something,
and you had to make that split-second decision to do something about it. Yes, and it's really cool.
It's like the only Renegade decisions I made because they were all so fucking cool.
Red Dead looks great, man. I'm excited for this campfire system where you build up relationships.
It sounds like that Skywatch thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Whatever it's called from Dragon Age.
Yeah, kind of Skyhold. Why do we always get that wrong?
I always
that
get
was
it wrong.
Literally our game of the year. That was our game of the year in fucking 2014. What the hell?
Well, because we haven't played it in 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
But you always remember. You always forget Sky. I always remember Sky, and then you remember Hold.
I like the idea of the RPG mechanic of like, hey, missions are going to open up if you have created a good enough relationship with character B instead of character C. You know what I mean? It's cool stuff, man. I like the seamless transition from cutscene to gameplay.
Yep.
They showed that a couple times. It's good shit, man. Red Dead, fucking Rockstar.
I hope this. I really hope this. I hope this game does as well as GTA 5 did. Because it looks
it's not
like
gonna do that well.
It looks like it.
Are we talking like just do well, or talking like 90 million copies sold well? Because it's not going to do 90 million copies.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I'm never gonna count Rockstar out again.
Sure, yeah, but unless
if any game has the potential of Rockstar's games to do like surprisingly well, it's this game.
Sure, but
it's also riding the high from Grand Theft Auto 5. How many people are gonna buy this fucking game? And if we get new consoles in 2 years, they're just gonna fucking port this game over to the next consoles.
Also, I mean, they've never. Rockstar still hasn't come out and said Red Dead Online doesn't exist.
They haven't talked about it.
They just haven't talked about it. So I remember when the GTA 5 trailer, the actual gameplay trailer, this thing finally dropped, GTA Online was front and fucking center because that was something they were touting. So, I mean, are we even going to get an online in Red Dead?
My opinion is that GTA 5 Online exists mostly because of Red Dead. there was
the original
online,
Red Dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is an online for GTA 4, but it was never. It wasn't nearly as popular as Red Dead Redemption Online.
Right.
So I think the fact that was so successful is what created the environment for for GTA 5 Online.
And we've talked about it before. I don't think Red Dead 2's, if they have an online mode, is going to be anywhere near as extensive as GTA 5, because I don't think they want to kill GTA 5 online.
No.
So I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as extensive. It's not going to be like you have a garage and you have like 5 different horses in your stable and you have this apartment built. It's not going to be anything like that. I hope they're still online, but I would have assumed they would have talked about it more already if there even was going to be something remotely close to GTA.
Well,
Online.
the thing about Rockstar though is that they can do it. I think more so than any other company. Even when talking about Bethesda and Nintendo, they can just do whatever the fuck they want.
It's true.
And whatever they do is going to sell. They don't need to tell you about Red Dead Redemption Online because you are going to play it and you're probably going to buy a fucking armadillo card and get that shiny horse.
A fucking armadillo card. Make it a thing, man. That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. They're fucking crazy and I love
A
it.
tumbleweed card. I think that's better. The tumbleweeds that kind of like roll. The golden tumbleweed. You have to find the golden tumbleweed in game.
We have a question from
snap.
Aspiring young listener named Justin T. Lopez.
Oh snap. I heard that guy's a douche.
Yeah, he says,
heard he's
"Hey
late.
guys,
Heard he's late to
long
everything."
time listener, first time writer. You all seem pretty keen on not falling for the overhype of games or getting your hopes up for games before their release, or you learn to accept a game for what it is, even if it has flaws. In parentheses, see Destiny 2. My question is: has there ever been a game that you could just not resist the hype for, and were ultimately disappointed with what you received in the end? If so, which one? He says, I know for me, I fell hard for the Spore hype way back in 2008.
Spore, holy shit.
I just started paying attention to PC gaming at the time, and the idea of all that alien customization and evolution sounded amazing, but it was lackluster to say the least. XOXO, the Anaheim Scrub. Or Shrub. Scrub is also a good word.
So do I have to be disappointed in the game, or is it something that I was...
That's my I was telling Everett this, I think.
Something I did.
There are very few games that I got super hyped for and I was disappointed with their release.
No, I can think of one especially, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. It was Fable. The original Fable, Molyneux fucking he sold the shit out of that game in ways that he never should have said.
It's weird that he's been doing that since
Fable 1, yeah. I think Fable 1, he sold the shit out of it. And it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I can do this. And I can, now you say all the things Molyneux said back then, it's easy to do now.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do, go play GTA Online and you literally can do whatever the fuck you want to do and see the consequences for it. But in Fable, he said that he touted that over. You can do what you want, go where you want, do anything, climb that mountain. There were no mountains to climb, but he said it was. He basically sold Skyrim back in 2008 or 2009 when Fable came out. Actually, 2002. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm way off. Like 2001, 2002, he was selling Skyrim to the original Xbox crowd. And that's not bad, but man, when Fable came out, it was nothing what he said it was going to be. However, holy shit, Fable's a good game. That game's fucking awesome.
I just can't think of a game that I was very hyped for because that disappointed me. There are games that I've had a lot of hype for.
Destiny 2 is one of them, and I was nowhere near disappointed in Destiny 2.
I did not. So that was my thing about Destiny 2. I did not have hype for it. In fact, I was the biggest naysayer about that game. I will never forget after the whole launch event that they did. You, me, and Rich were sitting here, and I was sitting here just I was sitting here just talking shit about it. How I was like, "Why do we need this game?" Blah 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 blah. And you guys were like, "It's gonna be great," and it was great. I mean, I don't care what anyone says about Destiny 2. It's better than Destiny 1 was.
100% agree.
But I just don't get super hyped for games that much anymore. I will say that right now,
you seem pretty hyped about Smash Bros. And on a level of Trey hype, which we'll say 1 to 10, Trey's highest hype is probably a 4, which is really good. Yeah. You can tell Trey's pretty excited about Smash Brothers, but we know how to temper our expectations, so you know exactly what we're getting into with Smash Brothers.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I just know the people that I can trust.
Sure.
Like, Smash Brothers is going to be great. Yep. It is. Like, it's the same people that have been working on the game for the past 10 years.
Yep.
Like, it's going to be fine. Another game that I'm really hyped for that I kind of don't talk about it a lot because I don't want to, like...
Fallout 76.
No, it's Spider-Man. I'm actually really excited about Spider-Man. I'm really excited about that game, but I don't want to talk about it too much because it's like I try to actually avoid conversation about it because I don't feel like I can have like a fair and balanced conversation about it. Smash Bros is different because it's like Smash Bros appeals to everyone,
sure.
Right? Like there's something of that in there. I'm really excited about it. I wouldn't say that I'm more excited for it than say Forsaken. But I'm more excited for it than I am for Red Dead Redemption.
Spider-Man. He's such a fucking dumb character.
Whatever. It's not so much Spider-Man that I'm excited about. It's kind of the same reason why I was really excited about the Arkham games. Because like the Arkham games are cool because they explore Batman's lore really well.
Sure.
That's what I'm excited about for Spider-Man. I don't really care about Peter Parker. I care about like what if I run into Spider-Gwen or Miles or this awesome like Venom. I hope Venom's in this game. That's the shit I'm excited for. It's just I happen to have to play Spider-Man to go through all that.
Yeah, just imagine like all the Easter eggs that are in the Batman games, but then like you find them in Spider-Man.
Sure. Yes, I think well, Rocksteady did Batman so well, and I think that I don't know. It's Batman. Sometimes you just can't go wrong with Batman because he's Batman. And the only thing that I think Rocksteady just didn't do well was sell Bruce, which they didn't need to because you're always Batman. So there was no like when Nightwing would show up or Catwoman would show up or even Jason Todd would show up. That was the closest you ever got to seeing like Bruce, the relationship between Bruce and another main character.
Yeah.
But even in the Arkham games, this is just going off on a tangent. Even in the Arkham games, it wasn't. It seemed more like Bruce failed Jason, and like instead of the whole. How am I trying to say this? They changed it enough to where Bruce definitely failed Jason. You know what? This isn't a video game conversation, so don't worry about it.
It's fun.
No, it's not even. It's so Bruce failed Jason, and Jason resented him for it, but not to the extent that normally happens. Bruce felt like he failed Jason. In the comics, I think he felt like that for a day, and then he just forgot about it because it's Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean?
Well,
that's just how
the whole campaign was fucked up. Readers voted on whether or not Jason Todd would die. They all voted he would die.
Yeah,
and it's like you can't have 6 years of Batman being upset about the reader's decision.
Exactly, and so like they did a really good job at those little things that they don't capture well, and I think video games do that on a regular basis is they change it a little bit and just enough for like those really nerdy guys like me to be like, God damn it, I really wish they would have gone this way instead of that way.
Well, that's like that's the cool thing about Spider-Man. Like in the game, from what I understand, Mary Jane is a photographer for the Daily Bugle, and Peter's not doing that anymore. I might be completely wrong about that, but I think that's what I read. And in certain levels, you are playing as her doing the Daily Bugle thing.
Oh, interesting.
And that's such a weird and different take. Like it's kind of cool to explore.
Sure,
it's cool that like in that one trailer you see like a minute of Miles Morales. I will say though that one of the things that like one of the other reasons why I don't talk about it too much is that Insomniac is one of the most inconsistent developers I've ever seen. They have made 10 out of 10 fucking badass awesome games, but they've also made some real shit games.
Sunset Overdrive?
No, not Sunset Overdrive. What was that one that they made on Xbox 360? That had like the super cartoony art style, and then they changed it.
Viva Pinata? I have no clue.
That was Rare.
I know that.
But yeah, their games are all over the place. So like everyone says this game is going to be super awesome, but it's fucking Insomniac. They could fuck it up.
To be 100% honest with you,
it's
going to be fucking awesome because it's Spider-Man, and everybody loves Spider-Man, and it doesn't really matter. Same thing with like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. They're terrible. They're fucking terrible movies. Tobey Maguire is an absolute horrendous Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Hey man, that was all we had.
Okay. Sure, and unfortunately, this is all you have for
Fuse.
Oh, I remember Fuse. And unfortunately, this is all you have for current superhero games, other than Batman, which is last generation. For this generation, you don't have superhero games except Spider-Man
or mobile games,
huh?
Or mobile games,
or mobile games. Sure, and those all suck. Yeah. And it's just They can't make a Magneto game because Magneto doesn't sell. Spider-Man does. Even though Magneto's a better character, better, he has the moral conundrums are always there. Spider-Man's just let's do good. Always do good. If it's bad, we don't do it. We do good. And that's sometimes good, sometimes it's not. That's why Superior Spider-Man was so good. Because Doc Ock was literally trying to do good like Spider-Man in his own fucked up kind of like weird twisted ways. But he was always trying to do good. He was always trying to essentially make Peter proud. It's what he was doing the whole time. And that was a really cool story arc because it's like the moral gray area is really what makes story interesting. And unfortunately, when it comes to Peter Parker, there's no moral gray. It's always white or black. And I don't like Spider-Man. Sorry, guys.
No.
I just do not like that character.
Again, it's the same thing with Batman. We talked about this. Like, I am not a big fan of Batman, but I love everything else around Batman is the best thing in the world. The same thing with Spider-Man.
Yep.
Like, Scarlet Spider is an infinitely more interesting character than Peter Parker.
Scarlet, all the clones are better.
Yeah.
Kane's
cool.
Kane's cool. Like I said, Superior is better.
Superior Octopus is now a clone.
I know.
He's better.
And dude, even Miles. Like Miles I think
is such a cool fucking character.
I think he tries to do the good thing, but he's just a kid. So he's got the moral. He doesn't know what good is yet. You know what I mean? And then Spider-Gwen's really cool because she's that alternate universe where Peter dies. She took it as hard as Peter did, but it actually like hardened her. Mm-hmm. Where it didn't really harden Peter when Gwen died. He just fucking went into his little recluse shell and came out a better person.
Yeah.
And Spider-Gwen, she's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Like she'll beat the shit out of somebody if she needs to. You know what I mean? It's just, yes, you're right. The main character's not good, but everything else around him's great.
But it takes having a supremely popular, non-interesting character to create an interesting universe.
Yeah, seriously.
And just look at Luke Skywalker. But
wow. Womp womp wah.
All right,
he got
guys.
super cool at the end in Force Awakens. Luke Skywalker was the best part of that movie.
Do you have a topic or anything you want to talk about?
Luke Skywalker?
How long have we been going, Ev?
An hour 30.
An hour 30.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
That's pretty long. I mean, we had a lot of news. All right, we're going to go ahead and end it here.
We can talk about Destiny some more.
Let's just bring Twin Stick Guardians back. If you guys like what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, the Google Play Store, YouTube, all your favorite places to listen to us. You can follow the show on Twitter at Twin Stick Radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/Twin Stick Radio. I am at Darth Trey on Twitter. Chris is at Short Change Hero with a 3 instead of the E in Hero. And Justin is at Justin T. Lopez. Give him a follow in spite of the fact that he was not here today.
Jerk.
The show is edited by Connor. Give him a follow on Twitter at Connor13. One in Connor13 spelled out. And the show is produced, as always, by Everett Jordan, who also was on the show a little bit.
Hooray, Everett.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
When are you going to start playing WoW with me?
Soon,
means
maybe?
never.
I don't know. I barely have any time to play games nowadays, it feels like. But we'll see. I want to play.
Follow him on Twitter at the56th. All of that spelled out, TH at the end. Love you guys, and we will see you next week.
I'm mount farming.
I am mount farming.
Yep, mount
That sounds
farming.
like you are creating mount farming. It sounds like you're just trying to create as many babies as you can.
That's weird. It's close. I'm trying to create as many.
You're not far off.
Yeah, I'm trying to create as many summonable things I can ride as possible.
You know what I downloaded again?
No.
I downloaded Mass Effect Andromeda again.
Ooh, you should finish it. It's a great fucking game.
I really want to. I keep seeing it on my. It's kind of fucking sucks because like this is gonna sound stupid, and you're gonna tell me how stupid it is, and you're gonna be like, "This is why I'm not playing Destiny 2." Like I know where this conversation is going, but anytime I turn on that PlayStation, I feel obligated to play Destiny so I can work more towards my Triumph stuff. And so seeing Mass Effect there, I'm like, I really want to play you, but I need to finish my Triumph stuff. But it also puts me in like this weird fucking anxiety ball where I don't play anything because I feel like I'm making the wrong decision.
How far are you into Mass Effect?
I would probably restart. I think I just finished the planet where you have to where you don't have access to the car. It's like the swamp planet where you have to walk around.
Yeah. It's so good, man. Mass Effect Andromeda was a great fucking game, and it's a shame on you, community, that you fucking buried that game into the ground just because of little dumb graphical hiccups.
It's a gaming journalist thing. It was gaming journalists. They ruined the game before it even had a chance.
Shame on you for doing that, man, because it's a great game.
Yep.
It's not just as good as Mass Effect 2 or 3, they're both better, but it's
it might be from what I played. It might be as good or better than 3.
From a gameplay standpoint, it is the best Mass Effect. It's so smooth. Everything's super cool.
Multiplayer's great.
Multiplayer's great. The classes actually feel different. Like Mass Effect 2, that was a thing I had. Like an assault guy or soldier didn't really feel too much different than from an infiltrator, other than the cool sniper stuff. In this game, they all feel different. They all feel really different, and you end up playing the game differently. Like a soldier, all you did was snipe. Infiltrator, you snipe. You can't really do that in Mass Effect Andromeda. If you're a soldier, man, you're fucking charging in head first with a shotgun because that's the best way to do it.
I was thinking about it.
It's great.
Like, why did I stop playing this game? Because I really liked it. I stopped playing it, and I remember exactly when I stopped playing it. When they were like, "Hey, we're gonna add more gay romances." And that's why I stopped playing it. And then it took them like 3 months to do it. And I never had a chance to go back.
Yeah, now you can sex up Jaal and Liam. I don't think you can sex up Liam.
I think Liam's still straight.
But
even though he always sits around you shirtless, he's like, "Oh, I'm not into dudes, but check out my abs." I hate those kind of straight guys.
Yeah, actually, so Jaal, is there another dude in that game?
So Jaal, and then the ship dude.
The ship dude?
What's his name? I forget his name. The ginger dude, the mechanic dude.
Oh, so there isn't another,
and then the third one is that bounty hunter you meet on one of the planets.
Bounty hunter?
You're gonna make me look this up.
That's fine. I'm trying to think companions. The only male companion
I think the only male companion
is Jaal.
Romance is Jaal.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. All the rest of the companions are chicks other than Liam. I didn't really realize that. But your companion list is a lot smaller than 3 was.
Yeah, there's only like 6 of them.
Yeah, like really small. There's the blonde chick, Coraline or whatever her name is, PB, which is my favorite character. Jaal, Liam. You don't get a Krogan in this one, do you? There's no Krogan. Is there a Krogan? There's a Krogan.
Yeah, it's the older Krogan.
Oh yeah, the War Chief Krogan guy. So that's 5.
So you can romance Reyes as a dude or a chick.
That's dumb. That's real dumb. He's not even a companion. He can't even go anywhere with you.
Yeah, but he's kind of hot.
Is he? When he looks like this.
His
face doesn't move.
Gil was the name of the guy that you. But
the
Gil,
ginger guy.
Here's the thing about Gil's thing, because I was gonna romance Gil because I was like, I like Gil. He's pretty cool. But I found out that the end of his story is like, hey, there's this little girl whose parents died in the stasis chambers. You want to adopt her and be gay dads? And I'm like, there is nothing more unappealing than being a gay dad. Not that there's like, I don't have a problem with gay dads. Like, you go be gay dads. But the amazing thing about being gay is that like the chances of you being a dad only happen if you really want it.
Sure.
Like that would be the end of my relationship with someone where it's like, hey, we've been dating for like a month. You want to raise a child with me? Like we're not lesbians, okay? We don't get to U-Haul.
That's funny.
We keep each other at a comfortable distance until we decide we can't find anyone else.
Very true. Anyway, everybody should go play Mass Effect Andromeda. Do not let the journalists
Dude, it's fucking cheap right now. Even here's the thing.
It's $10. You can get a used one for $10 at GameStop.
That's the thing. That's the thing about that game though, is that like even if
there won't be a complete edition anymore. Sorry, Trey, go ahead.
Even if it's not the best game ever, it's worth at least $10.
Oh, 100%. It's easily worth $60.
Yeah,
I think it is, especially from a.
I bought it twice.
Yeah, from a BioWare standpoint, it's 100% worth $60. It's just crazy. Yeah, there will not be a complete edition of that game. It'd be cool, but there's no DLC.
Yeah,
the complete edition is the game.
Yeah, is the game. And then to finish the cliffhanger of the story, they had to write a book.
The only DLC they added was the multiplayer DLC, and all that's free.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, that's such a good game.
All right,
Great
guys,
game.
we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.